Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service. We are an all inclusive, Black conscious, righteous movement dedicated to the social, economic, and spiritual survival of Black people in urban America. If you enjoy what you see and hear today, the Toma Nation would like to extend our invitation to you to join us each and every Sunday from 12:30 till 1:30 live on Facebook from Chicago, Illinois. Tune in and be fed by God's messages. For more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Please join us as we recite our opening. In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sunships of millions of years, and he who made time the seed of the universe. Known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansal, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and are of the Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now we will go into the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1, we believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2, we believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3, we believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic holy books were all Black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a Black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the Black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious game banging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the Black community of weapons, break up the Black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young Black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the creator of the universe under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Kassad Aten, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the community of urban America. To re-educate, our goal, to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. And now, if you will join us in raising your right fist very high as we recite our salute to the flag. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hope is in this future bright. Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it. Great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow for it. Historians shall write of it. This flag of mine. Here's to the black of it. 400 millions back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it. Oh, flag of mine. Here's to the green of it. Young men and women shall dream of it. Face shots and shells for it. Maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it. Colors bright and pole of it. Pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what is told of it. Thanks to God for giving it, this great flag of mine. Now, if you will continue to raise your right fist as we recite our Black national anthem. Black power, Black power, Black power. Black power, brothers and sisters, means the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people. Now I am going to introduce an amazing young brother who's going to introduce our speaker for today. He is well known within the community here in Chicago. He has a passion for helping people. Actually, one of the names of his businesses is Helping Hands for You. And just an all around great brother to know. And so sit back and open up your ears and enjoy the message today. I'm going to introduce our youth minister, Minister Tahaka J. Shakur.
Thank you so much. In the name of the everlasting Father, he that causes all that exists to exist, he that himself existed, he who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and he who made time, seed of the universe. Known among the ancient Kemites as Amun Ra and At. Among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim. Among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah. Among the Muslim and Islamic world as Allah, the one God. Among the Rastafarians is Jah, Rastafari. Among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Ojumare, as Shu. Among the Botswanan tribe as Modimocho. I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty Creator, and it is to him who I give reverence, and it's to him whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, the lost 13th tribe, born here in North America, and of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations flow through our veins, and I greet you in the ancient holy words of peace, that of our ancestors in Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Babaragani, Lafia, and Dashe. Again, I am Minister Taharka J. Shakur. I'm the youth minister of the Temple of Mercy Association, founded by my leader and teacher and guide, Minister Raheem Cassette Aten, co-founded by Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and our First Lady, Sister Makita Aisha Aten. We are a righteous Black movement a Black conscious righteous movement dedicated to the upliftment of our people. And one of the major things that I want to talk about in uplifting our people, we do not call our Sunday service or when we come live on Sunday worship. We're not coming to worship, even though we give praises to the Creator in what we do, in the work that we do, not just in coming to sing songs and read the Bible. But we have a worship service because we want to not just have a conversation and motivate our people, but warn them about the things that are going on, but then not just warn them, but also give them the good news and the plan that we must have put in place to let ourselves come out of her and separate ourselves from the thinking. We wonder why so many things are wrong in our community. See, recently we just had an event the other day, giving the first 1 year anniversary of the original Man in Black walking the streets in Chicago, and the energy was beautiful. We really recognized each other. And one of the major things that really came up was the call of us to do what is necessary in our community, with so many of our people being murdered by the enemy, being murdered by the devil, gunned down in the street, and we are constantly rallying and protesting, but that is us reacting. See, Awana lets you know that we are at war, lets you understand that this is a genocide that our people are going through, and if those powers that are in power right now over this world, not the world that I live in, let me state that properly, because I give them no power over me, over the people that's in power over the world that the majority of the people are living in. There we go. Those people have, as you heard, it's the 13th point of denial objective to exterminate Black people off of Earth. I just mentioned, I was having a conversation just earlier this morning when we talk about these different billionaires and the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates and the different conversations that they had, and us not ignoring things that we hear them say. When we talk about things such as genocide and population control in certain communities and depopulating the population. So when we think about Bill Gates, right? Because just recently there was a lawsuit that came out. It's going to be hitting the mainstream news really soon. That somebody pulled a lawsuit out against Bill Gates and a lot of these people because for the past 35 years, the vaccines that they've been pushing have been proven not to work and have been not beneficial at all and have been false. So they're going through a lawsuit right now. Very interesting, but I'm gonna let that go a little deeper. When we think about how does anyone, if you ever watch TED Talk, there are some TED Talks and there's literally Bill Gates on a TED Talk talking about depopulating the earth so the earth can do better. But we understand what's going on with Black people from 20,000% of, not 20,000%, 20,000 of our women going missing every year. But we just can't explain what's happening to them. The consistent rise in the population of Black people in incarceration system, where we have led and are continuously letting ourselves be led to, is appalling. And I only speak on it being appalling because the mindset that we have locked ourselves into is the major thing we need to separate from. Because when we fall victim into this system and allow ourselves to go along with it and let ourselves be number one in all health negative categories, number one in divorce, number one in dropout, not understanding the things that we must do. But when we go into that and that understanding that we must have, that at this point in time, that it is on us to do what is necessary, that we cannot just come and just tell you what's wrong in the community. We can't just speak on the bad without having a plan, without saying what it is that we can do. How do we separate ourselves? What is it going to take? What is this call to action that we have been putting out there? Because again, I mentioned the original man in Black, because the original man is Black and has to do what is necessary to take our rightful place on planet Earth and to protect our women and children, to protect ourselves, to no longer let the devil control our lives, from the things that we listen to the things that we visually see. But I want to just take a second before I bring the minister up. To just talk about the prescribed readings. It's disappearing. Okay. One of the prescribed readings that we have in the Temple of Mercy is God, the Black Man in Truth. And at the same time, we read God, the Black Man in Truth, we go through the Bible. When I talk about the truth that we must have in the plan, one of the beautiful things about what Ben Ami did, he separated. And oh, thank you, because the picture did not want to show up for me. One of the major things that Ben Ami did, he did not just talk about it like many of the conscious people do in our community. See, because that's the difference between, and you've heard the minister do a whole lecture about the difference between being conscious and Black conscious, and then the difference between being Black conscious and a Black nationalist, and going even deeper into that. But you listen to a lot of our people today lead you astray in just talking about it and just discussing different philosophies and about the ancient Kemites or different philosophies about certain tribes and talking about what we must do, but still then go work their 9 to 5 and still go live in Whitey's world, still go do the things and allow the things that this world brings to us. But no, Brother Ben Ami said, we're going to separate ourselves from them and do our own thing, live in our own culture. Because trust me when I say we as a people will not be able to thrive, to become who we are supposed to be. Because if we understand that if we are finding out an awakening to who we are, and we understand that there are powers that been knew who we were and have made sure that we've stayed in this cycle, if we know that we are God's chosen people, if we know we are God's chosen inside of people, if we understand that thinking, somebody else knows that and are making sure that certain things that are supposed to happen to make sure that the Black man and the Black woman on earth goes back to their rightful place. There have been systems put into place to make sure from this pandemic. Do you understand that our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb? So what is the best thing to do when Black people are awakening to who they truly are and understand that the steps into awakening, then we must unite. If after we awaken, they put a pandemic out there that stops the majority of the people who are supposed to unite, stop them from uniting. Then put certain things into place that knows that they will cause a certain reaction from the community to happen. Or if we separate ourselves and we just tell ourselves, right? Because it's more than separating from the land. You have to separate from the mind, separate from the idea that you need the white man. Separate from the idea that the devil's world is a world that you want to live in. Separate yourself from this reality. Because in actuality, you are painting what your actions right now, your thoughts right now is creating this world. And as long as you perceive, I said this at the recognition of one of the brothers in the original Man in Black. That's what stuck with him, because they was like, hey, how do you deal with white people? I don't perceive them. And once you stop perceiving them in your mind, yes, you see them in this reality, but in actuality, you don't have to perceive them. What is actually true for you? Thank you. What is actually true for you is what the reality becomes. The things that you are telling yourself on a daily basis, the things that they are telling us on a daily basis, the things that they have conditioned you to accept as reality is the reason this reality plays out the way it does. But once you start to change the thoughts that you have and separate from the idea that they have put in our head, erase that, throw that idea in the trash. If you got one of them newer sinks that you can press a switch and it starts to grind it up, get rid of the idea and the thought that you are not the greatest thing on earth. That everything that we have needed to do everything that we must do has already been planted inside of us. The thing that is necessary is for us to let go of the idea that have been passed down to us from generation to generation and revigorate that idea with the essence of what it means to be Black. No, Black is not a race. No, Black is the essence that we happen to have inside of us. Black is the essence of the universe. Black is the essence of God. Black is God. And we happen to be Black. And understand what that means when you understand that you are not just the body, but the essence inside of you, that spirit inside of you has to separate from this cardinal world that we have allowed ourselves to become victim to, because we have become victim to the body, thinking the bodies that we live in is the true reality, but in actuality, it is just like the avatar that you are using when you log onto the internet to stroll around the reality that you created yourself. And when we come to that understanding and accept that and take that power back, it is more comfortable to let someone else dictate what happens for you, isn't it? It is It is so easy to let someone else take care of it. How about we take the power back ourselves? Because I personally don't like the way I see. I am fed up with seeing my brothers gunned down in the street like they're animals by animals. Understand who the beast is. Understand who you are. Understand what man really is. Man is just God. We just forgot that we were God. Remember, wake up to that truth and accept that truth and watch how we can change the world that we live in with just our thoughts. Again, I love referencing movies. Y'all thought Thanos did something when he snapped his finger. Imagine the power of our minds. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad does not mention the unity of our people being more powerful than an atomic bomb. That is even an understatement. That is even an understatement. See, because when we understand the true power that we have, the trueness of who we are, the power that we have when we come into divine oneness of what divine love is, oneness with that higher self inside of you, we have to separate ourselves from the ideology of spirituality that they have given us. Because once we separate from that idea of spirituality that they give us, that tells us that there's a God outside of us, when I tell you that the God inside of you, that higher self inside of you, is the all, and it is only inside of the Black man and the Black woman, and all that the Black man and the Black woman is all that has made this creation. So nothing that they can do when we understand who we are and start operating it, and we reawaken as the phoenix to the true power that we have. When we do the things, when we start righteously walking with one another, when we start living amongst each other, when we start talking positive to one another. The reason why we see the community that we live in, because most of the people around us are thinking negative thoughts. They don't have no other thoughts in their head about what's wrong or what's going to go wrong or how it's going to turn out. And they're thinking negative. Most people don't never smile. And I've been stuck on that recently. the laughing, they need to change the frequency, because you have to understand the vibration that you're putting out is creating the world that we see. And those that are conscious and that become conscious of that, guess what? Now that you know you are responsible for the world that you are creating, you just became responsible for the world that you was already responsible for. So nobody can get Black people out of the situation that Black people are in. There's no reparations bill that we can fight for them. And again, because we've had this conversation a lot. And I only go into this because why are we asking anyone? If you are God, why are you asking creation? Let's say it's a little different. If you are a creator, why are you asking the creation for help? Just remember, you can create whatever you need. Can everything and all things that we are already need inside of us. Everything that ever was and is inside of us. The necessary things that we have to do is separate ourselves from their thinking. We have to separate ourselves from their diet. We have to stop eating processed foods, because we are natural beings. We have to eat things naturally from the ground if we want to consciously awaken and have our bodies be able to be prepared to handle the spirit on another level. It's the reason why the people who get really, really spiritual end up losing themselves, because if the vessel is not properly prepared as a temple for God, because that's what you're supposed to be preparing for. If you're every day just eating out, eating fast food, consuming a bunch of sugars, how will you ever be able to operate as God? As the vehicle is going to deteriorate and start breaking down, because the energy and the light that is God, your body can't bear it. But that's enough for me today. But in closing, as I bring up Minister Raheem today, I just really want us to understand that we have to be aware of who our enemy is. And we cannot just walk around unaware and just go around our days, business as usual. We understand that we are at war and our people are going through a genocide, that there are those that are out there working every day and every night while we go out and party and not do the things that are necessary, not fasting, not meditating, not doing the things that we need to do spiritually, not coming together, not having proper communication, not disciplining ourselves from our lower natures, from this body, to be more of our spiritual selves and that knowing and that higher self that operates as righteous. And that's when the change will start to begin, and when we change what is within us. And with that, and with that, I would like to bring to you someone who, since I have been on this journey for a while, and I have taken time to really do the things that I have become and become the minister that I am today, I would not be on the path this way, right? Because there's one faith that we all have, and I'm going to do what I was sitting here to do. But there's many paths that I could have taken. But I am happy, I am thankful to the Most High in me and the Most High that is all for bringing me to the culmination, bringing me and having and revealing in me the same thing that revealed in the minister is this is where I belong. And I'm so happy and so grateful to bring to you my leader and teacher in God, Minister Raheem Hassan.
Peace in the name of the everlasting Father. He that causes all that exists to exist, he that is self-existent. He who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years. He who made time to see the universe. Known among ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra, At. Among the Hebrews is Ansar, Yahweh, Elohim. Among the Christians is Lord, God, Jehovah. Among the Muslims is Allah, the one God. Among the Rastafarians is Jah, Rastafari. Among the Yoruba tribe, Olodumare, Batala, and many other Orisha gods. I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one Almighty God. It's to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we are those descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, and that we are that lost 13 tribe born right here in North America. And we are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flows through our veins. I greet you all in the ancient, but yet holy words of peace, in the languages of our fathers, Hotel, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Baragani, Salafia, Ashe. I'd like you all to give a warm virtual applause for our youth minister, brother minister, Zahaka J. Shakur, as he came to you. I know you all are most used to him being high strung, but the word is still just as powerful, even when he's a little bit more calm when he do what he do. But he says some things that are worth going over. But before I go over, let me continue the flow of the process before we go into my lecture. I am Brother Minister Raheem Hassan, founder of Determination, along with the co-founder, Brother Minister Mara Jahiatin, and our First Lady of this movement, Sister Makita Aisha Atin. The subject today, believe it or not, is real strange because I had many different titles. And I'm going to start and just say this title is The Just Us Criminal System. Now, it's known as the criminal justice system, but I'm saying now that when you look on the horizon and you see the court case concerning George Floyd and the officer that's on trial, and you know how Black people are, because meanwhile, at the same time, a killing of a young man in the same state, 21-year-old brother, dead from a traffic stop. And as we move in and out of the George Floyd situation, we're going to be moving into another. And not only that, right here in Chi-Town, a killing by police. All of this is by police. See, we cannot smooth over what's happening. And if you are one to smooth over what's going on, then you're no better than any of the other people that you hear Toma name as sellouts. You sell out your own conscience when you deny it the truth. So let's be sincere about this thing. These are police officers killing Black people. Black people are treated totally different from other ethnic groups with just a regular traffic stop. We, more so than others, majority, don't have to be undid anything when we drive and see the light behind us and we go, uh-oh, no, we're not even guilty. Got all our credentials and insurance and didn't run a light or nothing, but uh-oh. Because we do know that a minor traffic stop could go south in a moment's notice. And it ain't about you doing right or wrong. It's about the mindset of the officer who's stopping you. And most times, I don't know about any other city, but I'm finna say something about Chicago. Most times, the officer that's gonna stop you here in Chicago will be a white man or even a white woman. I don't see too many white female officers out there, but I know mostly a white man. And these white men have to have at least 2 years of college before they hit the streets, before they even can apply. So now those 2 years of college, they're not in our community. They're not learning about us. They're not taking up Black history. Whatever their subject is, they're spending time doing homework and whatnot for 2 whole years. Then they get their first contact with Black people as soon as they hit the streets. Now, mind you, their mindset has been given to them not only by their parents and grandparents and ancestors, but even how we're portrayed on television and in movies. They draw their conclusion of what type of people we are. And so soon as they pull us over, they already have a preconceived notion. And it don't matter if you get out with a suit on or your pants sagging. It used to be something different. At least they had a way where they said, well, if they got locks or something, we know they might be up to something. No, it don't matter today. You got on a suit, you could look like a pimp, you could look like a bum, you could have locks, hair, no hair, it doesn't matter. look like a preacher, it don't matter. Just be black. It's the skin you in. Now, I know that police are working hard to try to get the preachers and community leaders to work with them to give them a better image. I'm saying, if you want a better image, why don't you, okay, I'm gonna say it the way it's coming to me. Why don't you take some courses at Planet Fitness or somewhere and start exercising so you can go for your gun less? Why don't you go take up some courses in self-defense so you can go less reaching for your gun? Now, the less times you're reaching for your gun and learning certain hand techniques and whatnot to subdue an individual and able to run, and because you can't run and out of breath, your bullet is faster. Simple things to do to reduce your police violence situations that we're dealing with you. But no, you want us to tell you what to do. You want us to go out in the community to make you look good when you're not doing the things that you could do to look good. And we can't do that for you. What are you saying, Brother Menz? I'm saying what I know. We got an OMIB group that goes out, do not have weapons on them, but yet at the same time, OMIB are required, just like the Nation of Islam, to know how to do certain moves and whatnot, dealing with our people to restrain them, not to kill them, to restrain them. Prayerfully, we'll get to the part where we'll even know how to disarm them. But I know that if these are things that humans can learn, why not police officers? The last thing they should be going for should be a taser or a gun. But that's the first thing they go for. Even before handcuffs, that's what they go for. Why couldn't they have handcuffed the guy, the 21-year-old guy, and he couldn't have been able to drive off then when he jumped in his car, not with his hands behind his back? Then tell me also, what type of reasoning, Black brothers and sisters, do you develop in your head, along with every other ethnic group, that can even allow you to give a logical reason for a man named George Floyd to be handcuffed already with his hands behind his back? Do you know how hard it is to stand up and roll away on your stomach with your hands behind your back? I already know. Just try it yourself. Now, his hands behind his back, he's on his stomach way home. You got niggas, and I don't care if they white or black, trying to give a logical reason why that man's knee had to be on his neck. I could see maybe if he wasn't handcuffed. Maybe. But there's no logical reason except that this was a racist cracker with his knee on that man's neck. And he did it to no other ethnic group. What am I saying? I'm saying, brothers and sisters, and this is why I say we want to go and keep looking for justice in a system that's just us, and it's a criminal system. You're not gonna find justice. If you get any kind of justice in this system, it's gonna be by miracle. That's it. What's the boy name? Trayvon Martin. Free. And keep going down the line. 99% go free. 1% may not. When it concerns us. I know officers, police officers, I know them. I knew some of them before they were police officers. I feel for the ones that I know that gotta wake up in the morning with that stigma on them. Sorry, friends that know me, but if somebody putting a bad name on me or my job or something that I'm involved in, I leave. Because I don't have the time, and I'm talking about me now, to dig all inside of the department and look for the good. I got to charge all of you all, and I'll let God sort you out. I can't do it. See, if I were to try to find the good in the department, and the time comes when my people got to rise up, whose side you think I'm gonna be on? I ain't gotta say it. You know me. See, so we give solutions. You just heard mine. Solutions for the Chicago Police Department and any other police department. I just told you. Planet Fitness and a self-defense class. Remove them fat cops off the street. Remove them cops with underlying ailments like asthma and stuff off the streets. Put them police officers on a track every day to run miles. If physical fitness ain't a part of it, then you're not going to reduce police violence among our people, killing them with those guns, and then being the judge and the jury, and then given and the whole end of the trial, they be convicted to the electric chair, but this time it's a portable electric chair called a taser. Now I told you, my subject ain't gonna stay on there, but I had to talk about it because it's bothering me. I'm a man with a heart for our people. All right? And at the same time, you know us by now. We talk about the black on black crime too. But every once in a while, we gotta pause. Because it's just like family. We'll take care of the problems inside of our family, but when the outsider do something to us, we come together. We say, pause for a minute. Let's get rid of that first. Then we'll get back to us. So I'm not negating the part or the fact that we killing each other and how many times we have done that already this year. But we working on that. So now I gave y'all something to work on. Work on what we said, and we'll see less of you having a bad image in our community. There was a time when y'all was called officer friendly. I'm wondering where the friendly went. Damn it. Sorry to say, I'm just telling how I feel. And I'll sit out and talk with police officers all day long. Why? Because I've done it before. I've talked to nice police officers because they're human first. But if they're in some sort of fraternal order where they can't tell on each other, then whoever that person is, I know that's in there, done chose the damn side that they on. So I have to choose the side that I'm on. When I say I'm from the streets, brothers and sisters, I was raised in the streets. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It may not look like it, but I was. And I was not in Stone's Disciples, all that. I wasn't in there. I was a musician. And they saw me as a musician. And they always wanted me to play this song or that song or whatever. But I was raised in the streets. I was raised by DCFS. But I was in the streets because I kept running away. So that's my home. They just sprinkled a little grassroots on me. They sprinkled a little nationalism on me. I had a little Black history sprinkled on me. And this is what you get. And yes, I'm always on the side of Black people first. Hell, when I die, I'm gonna be a Black man that died. Just because I changed my mind to move into a white neighborhood or change my mind to be somewhere else with another ethnic group, that ain't gonna stop me from being Black. I'm still black. And so I might as well accept black and accept that I'm gonna be with my people. I don't care how bad they are. I don't care what they did wrong. I'm just like anybody else who has an ethnic group. They know the bad side of it. They know the good side of it. But when it's time for them to come together because an outsider done walked into their business, they come together and they get rid of that outsider. So I'm that same way. Now I'm gonna stop talking about me. I'm gonna go back into Temple of Mercy, but I believe in my heart, me and Tony is one. I just have to tell you that from the top. In my heart, me and Toma is one. And moving right along, let me show you. I didn't get to my readings yet. Let me show you what I'm saying. Here, I ain't got that much time, so I'm gonna shut up talking. I'm gonna let me read you talking. Ever since 2013, when Harry Belafonte, a famous artist, actor, singer, calypso singer, he came up with Sidney Poitier. He walked with Martin Luther King Jr. He took care of Martin Luther King Jr.'s family when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. He made sure they were well taken care of. This same brother, he's like 90 years old now, but he received an award from NAACP. And when he came to the podium to speak, these are some of his words, and they rhyme with me today. And I look around, not only in the entertainment world, not only in the sports world, but among the people who call themselves clergy. And then on among the people who call themselves activists. And I wonder sometimes, did his words fall on deaf ears? And I'm not saying D-E-A-L, I'm saying D-E-A-T-H. Y'all figured out what I'm saying. He said, Black Americans are the most unemployed. This is him talking at the NAACP award. The most caught in the unjust systems of justice. And in the gun game, they are the most hunted. Let's start saying like what it really is. We hunt each other. The police hunt us. We're a game. White crackers in the South hunt us. We are the most hunted among people on the planet. You go into Africa and other countries, we're hunted. We're the game. And so we got to be the most on it to expose it. And we do know that little cliche. We know that's the main thing that this white man is afraid of. And you know how it goes? Hunting ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. And that's where we're going. You see, it says, the rivers of blood that wash the streets of our nation flow mostly from the bodies of our Black children. Look, he's talking to sports figures, he's talking to Black entertainers, musicians, actors, they all in the audience. They hear this. Those who have ears, let them hear. And now you're gonna see why I said deaf ears. Dead ears. Not because they can't hear. It's because they allowed their ears to water down the word that's coming to them. And then their ears began to affect their eyesight. You had some rap artists that were coming out because they didn't want Trump in office, talking Black conscience for a minute, talking about we at war. And all they was worried about was the future of their actual individual children. They were afraid for them that when they are gone, their children will lose all their inheritance. to the world based on what they thought Trump was going to let happen. But I'm here to tell you, it's still at jeopardy because God used Trump. It's still at jeopardy because, you see, when God used Trump to set this in motion, it's still falling apart. It's still eroding. And so what you were afraid of that made you start talking black conscience, that made you start saying black people at war, y'all know what I'm talking about when you go back and check out the video. Then they was gonna start some kind of organization that never got off the ground because you think that Biden is in the house and so, you know, everything's okay, right? Brothers and sisters, what I say may sound far-fetched, but I'm only repeating the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. I'm only repeating the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Here in America, I'm not even repeating the freedom fighters in Africa. I'm saying the ones right here, the main two right here in America who showed you the blueprint in person of building a nation. Now we got to do it, and we got to make sure it don't fall. And the only way, I'm saying the only way, whether you accept it or not, that's your problem. But I'm sure down the line you're going to see it, but it's going to be too late. The only way, first, is to come out of her system of things and slowly move back into a system of your own, not individual. But look around you and find people who's building a nation. Toma Nation is one. Nation of Islam is another. I have to be honest, Moore Science Temple is another. Go to any of them to come out of this, and you right at the door and help them build that nation. Because the Creator gave the Toma Nation an idea of a united nation so that all the tribes can unite and still operate as an individual nation. Now, if we go forward to do that, you have to build a security team. I'll say it that way for now. You have to. You cannot build anything and don't have protection. You're not going to buy you a house and not have a lock on the door, an alarm. Some of you all have a dog in the backyard. Something to protect what you have. There's nothing that God made without a defense system. And so when you build a nation, you have to build your defense system inside of it. Where do we start? Right in our own community, talking to our own people. The ones who don't want to hear it, you automatically know that's because they've had their minds dumbed down and numb to ever being free, to ever having something of our own as a people. And so you have to count them as, what do they call that when somebody get killed on the side and they didn't mean it? Collateral damage. Sorry, if you fit that description, you can tack that on your forehead. You are collateral damage.
Sorry, not sorry.
I have to say it how I feel because I'm tired now of all of our own people doing stupid stuff. How can you get in a line like cows going to slaughter or sheep going to slaughter on a word when the truth hit you in the face first and told you that they didn't have approval from the very people who you always wait to get approval from before you believe what they say. Then you find out that you don't even have their approval and that what they've given you don't even cure the thing, and you get in line for it anyway. Right. What kind of dumb nonsense is that, black people? I'm telling you now, in 10 years from now, you're gonna say he told me, and all I'm gonna say is, here's your label, put it on your damn forehead. Collateral damage. That's what I'm gonna do. Being stupid. And some people I know, yeah, I'm talking to you too. You don't listen. Now you're gonna pay for it. In the future of our children. Sick. Ooh, I'm about to get madder and madder. I better read some more. What you say? It's time, boy. How can we be so crazy, man? How can you keep trusting? No wonder we being bullied. Because you accept being bullied. So you walking around getting bullied and wondering why. God, dog, why I want to cuss? But I'm a minister. They got a guy called the cussing minister. They be on Facebook. Y'all need to hear him. He'll say what I want to say. Stop happening. Let me read his last part of what he said. To show you something. I'm going to read two things here. He said, this is Harry Belafonte. He said, yet, as the great debate emerges on the question of the gun, white America discusses the constitutional issues of ownership, while nobody speaks to the consequences of our racial carnage. So now where's the outrage? Why are we mute? Where are the leaders? Where are our legislatures? Where is the church? He said in his last meeting with Dr. King, just before he went off to Memphis to join that strike thing and they killed him, they had a strategy meeting. In that meeting, Dr. King was in a dark mood. And he said, he asked, what's going on? And he said, we have come far in the struggle for integration. And although we may be winning some battles, we have not won the war. And I've come to the conclusion that in our struggle to integrate, we may be integrating into a burning house. Harry Belafonte said he found that deeply disturbing. Now that's one of the words that Martin Luther King said. Now I'm gonna give you another quote from Martin Luther King, and then I'm gonna shut it down. So you can understand now. See, Martin Luther King was getting ready to become a nationalist because he saw again. And it's sad that it took him so long to see that. When it was leaders like myself, and at that time, it was Elijah Muhammad telling them already what he came to the conclusion before he came to it. There was the Black Panthers out there showing him already. There was even in his own lectures and what he saw happening to his people, they were showing him right in his face who they are. White man is the devil, and then the world and the media showed him in his devilish activities against us. And so now he says this. The ultimate measure of a man, this is Martin Luther King, is not where he stands in the moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. See, some of these nigger preachers and some of these nigger activists scared of controversy, scared of their job, scared of their little position that they got or had. A position in the white man's world is a demotion in the grassroots society. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Peace, Hotel, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abad Ghani, Lafia, Ashe.
Thank you for joining us today on our Sunday worship service. We hope that you absorb the message that our Minister Tahaka and Minister Rahim Kased Atum have given you today. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, please feel free to support our grassroots movement and donate to us on Cash App at Cash App hashtag Toma Nation. That's TOMANATION. Thank you.